We want to say hi to our family and friends. Thanks so much for watching this video that we're excited to share with you. Before we get into the story I want to tell you about, you can see that my wife is with me looking pretty well. Michelle, why don't you give her just a quick report on how you're doing?
Doing way better than I was before surgery, and I'm so happy that that part of the journey is behind. On Monday I had 34 staples taken out, and I am going slow, a lot of fatigue, but way better than I was even before surgery. So I'm excited to just have this part of the journey just to be done. So
I'm glad to be able to share this together with you. To set up the wonderful story we want to tell you about, we need to go back in time over 20 years ago to when Michelle had her breast cancer surgery. When she had her major surgery, the doctors insisted on removing a large lymph colony from under her arm, a large colony of lymph nodes. And Michelle was concerned about that because of potential lingering harm that could cause her. Well, sure enough, after the surgery was done and those lymph nodes were removed, it turned out those lymph nodes were removed really unnecessarily, just in a precautionary way, but Michelle had lingering lymphedema. You might have noticed that Michelle does not wear her wedding ring on her left hand. She can't do anything with her left arm. Can't have a blood draw or an infusion in her left arm, nothing, because of the lingering damage that's there. And I tell you that because that experience Michelle brought into this surgical experience. And so leading up to our conversations with the doctor, Michelle said, I want to have the cancer removed, but I don't want to have any parts unnecessarily taken from me because I'm afraid they might leave some lingering harm or lingering damage. Well, as we were researching this surgery, Michelle also talked to some of friends in other places who'd had a similar surgery. And some of them had said that while the doctor was going through removing the various female parts and such related to ovarian cancer, that many of them had their appendix removed. And Michelle said why, and her friend said it was just in case, right? It was precautionary. And so given that experience from over 20 years ago, Michelle said to her doctor, I do not want my appendix removed, and was very, very clear about that with the doctor. The doctor said, I do not take it as part of my standard course of action. He said, I will only remove your appendix if I see clear visual evidence of cancer, something that's wrong. Well, as part of the story, Michelle's surgery was finished. Her doctor actually called me from the operating room to tell me that the surgery went well, and he went through the list of things that he had removed from Michelle, and the appendix was not on the list. When I was with Michelle as she was recovering from the surgery, pretty early on, she said, so, did he take my appendix? And I said, no, he didn't take your appendix, and she was so very glad. Well, it was a few days later that a new nurse was caring for Michelle and said, you'll never believe this, but I had the exact same surgery you had 15 years ago, and the Lord brought me through all of it. And she said, I had the same surgery you did, except I didn't have my appendix removed like you did. And Michelle said, I did not have my appendix removed. And then the nurse said, well, I must have read your chart wrong. Well, you fast forward now to just a few days ago when Michelle had her first post-surgical appointment with the doctor. And she asked the doctor about what parts were removed. And he started to talk through the various parts that he'd removed. He had taken her ovaries, her uterus, her fallopian tubes, a part of her small intestine, some other things. And Michelle said, did you remove my uterus? And he said, well, here's the deal. Actually, did you remove my appendix? And he said, well, here's the story. He said, I looked at your appendix and everything looked perfectly fine. And I had no plan to remove it. But he said, then when I was in the area of your small intestine where there was a tumor and was removing it, the proximity to your appendix said, even though everything about your appendix looks fine, I think I should take your appendix. And as soon as he said that, Michelle had a look on her face that said, how could you, when I was so insistent that you not do it? Well, after we were finished with that part of the conversation, he said, well, let's look together at your pathology report. And so he walked us through each of the various organs and parts that were taken from Michelle and what the pathology report said. There was cancer in both ovaries. There was cancer in her uterus. There was cancer in one of her two fallopian tubes. There was cancer in her small intestine. And then he came to the appendix. And there was cancer in Michelle's appendix. And we were both just so overwhelmed when that news came our way, because we realized something. We asked all of you, friends and family in various places, to pray for Michelle's surgery and to pray for every detail, every decision, every move that the surgeon and all of the medical professionals would make. And the doctor said pretty clear to us, I would not have removed the appendix, but I just had a feeling that I should. And he did so, and I don't think it's an overstatement to say that he very well may have saved my wife's life by doing that. And so we wanted to share that story with you because we hope that it encourages you as people of prayer. I think our doctor deserves great credit. We want to give him all the credit in the world, but at the same point in time, we do not want to steal the glory from God. And we know that the hand of God moves when his people pray. So we have received an amazing answer to prayer, an amazing demonstration of God's goodness to us. For those of you that are part of the Northbridge family, we've been doing 21 days of prayer going through the Psalms. And just a few days ago, we were in Psalm 32. And it said, "You're a hiding place for me. You preserve me from trouble, and you surround me with shouts of deliverance." We have seen God in a fresh way preserve Michelle from trouble in ways that she didn't want to have happen, that we thought was wrong. But the Lord knew better, and he directed and intervened. And so because of that, we are singing shouts of praise, shouts of deliverance and victory today. So thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your love and support. May you be encouraged by that, and may you continue to pray with confidence and boldness in the name of Jesus. Thank you. We love you.
Love you. Thank you for praying. Thank you for all your gifts. We love you. We need you.